Hello, here we go back at it again with my YouTube channel. I would like to first say thank you to my Aunt Tammy, Harris Stowe State University, and my line brother Brennan, 4-5, for this topic. So I'll be talking a little bit about the transition from college to adulthood. And I was like trying to wrap my mind around what would be the best way to kind of go about this. I had two different ways. So I'm just going to tell my story. And if there's any part of it that you want more information on, I can actually make another video, just get deep diving into that aspect. So feel free to let me know in the comments which parts you're more interested in having more information about. So we'll start from the beginning of my college career. My first year in college, I was stressed out. Classes were hard. I was never used to like having to try in school. So I didn't get involved with anything until my sophomore year, which I always regret because I could have definitely been a lot further ahead in my development. My sophomore year, when I did get involved, I already had an on-campus job in the facility and events operations. Shout out to Dan Sayers and Ohio University for that great opportunity. And the first organization I really got involved in was the Shea Sales Center. Shout out to Nicole Bolzon. She probably doesn't know, but if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now. So I appreciate that she convinced me to join the Shea. So after joining the Shea, I realized that I could already talk to people who are in the professional world. They were just people. It wasn't as intimidating. So I know the Shea took us on a trip to Detroit to speak to the people at Quicken Loans. And I was literally like talking to VPs of hiring, VPs of human resources, CEOs, etc., and just having normal, fun conversations. And that's when I realized that it's a lot easier than what I first expected. So the way I started doing things was building relationships with my professors on campus, my Shea professors, etc., getting to know them well and making it so they knew me by building my personal brand. Then I start reaching out to alumni. And then the step after that is reaching out to those professional, which are normally the alumni, but it's also people who are, say, a connection away from whoever you're connected to. They like to say that you're always one connection away from whoever you want to talk to. So moving into that, obviously after building my personal brand, people know me. Hey, he's hardworking, he's knowledgeable, he's wants to know different things. He doesn't want to just ask a question. He wants to know why it works and kind of dig into it. So that was kind of my personal brand. And I leveraged that into an internship. So obviously with killing the career fair, the most important thing you can do is build those connections up front. Something I like to do was informational interviews. And that just gives me a chance to get people on the phone, ask them about the job, ask them about how they got there, get to know them a little bit better. And then those are the people you can reach out to down the line when it comes to internship or career opportunities. So went to the career fair. Met a guy who was in the Shea program, in sports management program. His name's Wes. He was great. He's been my mentor for the longest, and now he's my boss at work. So that's kind of how that route goes. Fast forward to senior year, after the internships, reaching out to multiple people in different jobs that I think I would be interested in. Fall semester is more business than fun. It's really about getting things together. And then spring semester is about preparation and having the most fun possible. I think people either get into college and they're super serious, or they get in it and they're not serious enough. So I guess the biggest thing to stress about it is you always want to make sure that you're taking proper steps to your plan. So fast forward senior year, like I said, in the fall semester, after my internship, I was still, excuse me, I was still trying to figure out kind of what I wanted to do. I knew it was sales, but I just wasn't sure if it was the sports industry. So what I did was I reached out to all my connections. I talked to Microsoft, People's Bank, Apex Systems, Cincinnati Bell, a bunch of different companies, and used those connections that I made through being a good student with my professors and reaching out to alumni and letting them know, like, hey, we have a connection, go to Ohio University, I'd love to get to know you. And that just helped me be more confident at the career fairs. And there's also a strategy to kind of get comfortable with the career fairs. You want to start young. A lot of people aren't giving internships to like freshmen, sophomores, but you don't want the first time for those people, those recruiters to see you be your senior year. You want them to know your face when you come in there, so you at least have some reputation to build off of. So going into that, obviously the drop process, you want to make sure that you have those things laid out important to you. So personally for me, career development, a fun working environment, and I'm a big NBA fan, so I mean my fandom kind of leaned into it, but it was also I wanted to be surrounded by a great culture. I wanted to be surrounded by good people. I wanted to feel like if I fell flat on my face, that people would help me up and not be kind of like critical of me. So that was the biggest thing for me, and that's why I think my job is a perfect fit for me now. And then from there, you just got to go through the process of talking to these companies, sitting down with your family, sitting down with the people that are important to you, and making the decision on which wouldn't be a fit, which would be a fit, and then making sure that you respectfully in those relationships, because you always want to leave the door open, and you always want to make sure that people have access to you, so you can help them, and so hopefully they can help you. And then leading into that spring semester, so this is the biggest one. Preparation. You want to start preparing. Do not wait until you graduate to find a house, figure out what's the closest things to you, how you're going to get there. Do not do that. So while you're having a load of fun, a lot of fun, make sure you're going out, doing whatever you like to do at college, because once it's over, it's over. But like in March, I wanted to make sure I had my apartment secured and everything by March. So reached out. You always want to reach out to the people at your job. So make sure once you commit to a job, which I would say if I wanted to be committed before winter break, before spring semester started. So that was kind of just me. I know sometimes spring is normally the best time for that, but I didn't want kind of that worry and that stress. So it just depends on who you've connected with in the past and how quickly you can get that process rolling. But I reached out to those people, asked them kind of about the places to live. Luckily, my manager/mentor, Wes, told me that they actually made a deal with a real estate company. So that just gave me one person I could go to. There was already a connection there, and I made sure I got it done quick. So I was already saving my money and preparing, like, okay, I got to put a deposit down on an apartment, stuff like that. So I made sure I did all that before March. And another thing is you want to start financially budgeting. So you want to think, okay, this is how much rent's going to be. This is how much bills are going to be, et cetera, et cetera. So you want to start kind of thinking those things through because that's super important. And once you get through that part of the process, you're set to go. So you have your budget, you have roughly what you think you're going to make a month, and then you just have to start. So for me, actually being here in Milwaukee, I've had an amazing time. Thankfully, I've had a lot of friends and family visit me so far, so that's been nice. And getting to know the people at work, I work with great, amazing people, and that makes those 9 hours a day go by so quick. Sometimes you don't want to leave, and then you're excited to go back tomorrow. I would say I personally need to explore more. The best advice Wes gave me was find a nonprofit that you're passionate about, and that's a great way to make friends outside of work. With me being from Ohio, being all the way in Wisconsin, it's tough. I'm a homebody. I like to play video games, watch TV, so I don't really get out after work. So that's something I'm currently working on. But I mean, other than that, adjusting to the day-to-day as a professional, you just want to make sure you work hard. Work hard and be professional. Those two things will take you really far. As long as you show people respect, treat the janitor like you would treat the CEO, and then just make sure you're doing the process. You always want to have a process to the things you do. Don't waste a step. Don't do things without purpose. So for me at my job, I've had sales internships in the past. So it was more about me just kind of remembering what I already knew and making sure every day I try to get better. I took good notes to make sure I wasn't asking the same question twice, because at the end of the day, you want to slowly become the professional, because sooner or later, you'll be helping the next new hire. So biggest advice, and I mean, give me advice too on how to like make friends and stuff outside of work, because I'm pretty bad at it. But biggest advice is just take on the new experiences. So, I mean, go to the new city, be excited about the opportunity, because, I mean, it's a beautiful opportunity. Like, my manager sat me down and he was like, I don't want you to get overwhelmed by the experience. Remember, you're in the NBA. You've always dreamed of this. Remember that it's something you love. And getting back to those simple points during your job search, during college, during that transition. Like, you worked 4 years, sometimes 6 years or less, to get to wherever you're trying to go. So appreciate the moment that you're in, but also make sure that you're planning for the future. So like I said, if you guys want me to deep dive into any more details about this, there's a few cool tools and other things that I can bring up in a more detailed video. But the transition from college to adulthood is all about preparation. So just make sure you're doing all the right things. Anything that you can think about today, you can get done today. Don't waste it on tomorrow. Like I said before, feel free to comment underneath the video on any next topics you want, especially about kind of the process and how do I connect with professionals, how do I find an apartment, how do I properly budget. All those things are things I can give advice from my perspective. So hopefully you guys like this video, and I look forward to the next one. Have a great day.